What's up, guys? It's Scion, and I'm back, and this is gonna be a Blade and Soul. Should you play? Now, the last one was Black Desert, and it was received pretty well. So we're gonna move along, and we're gonna talk about Blade and Soul today. And you guys know the structure. I give you points and talk about the points, and we're gonna get right into it and start with the pricing plan. Now, Blade and Soul is a free-to-play game, and of course, with free-to-play, you know there's gonna be limitations. Now, the limitations are a little bit stringent, but not something that you can overcome. In fact, you can overcome it if you are actually in a guild or you get in a guild. The one thing that you cannot overcome is that you cannot have a wardrobe without actually getting some type of premium, at least for a month or something. Like, yeah, premium to unlock your wardrobe, but you need to actually keep it to keep the wardrobe. So then there's that. You also won't get the exclusive Dragon Express. So with that said, as a free-to-play member, you don't get increased EXP, you don't get increased gold drops, you don't get increased gold or EXP earned in combat, you don't get extra Hangmoon points, you don't get a reduced market fee. And then on top of that, when we're talking about market, you have a limit on how many slots that you can use to sell and how much you can sell during the day and the currency that you can get within the day. So I know after hearing all that, you're like, why the hell would I want to be a free player in this game? But trust me, you can get by with it if you don't have the money to deal with it at that current time. And if you do have money to deal with the premium membership in the game, it's only between $10 to $11 a month, I believe. So I forget, my credit card says something like that. But anyway, still, at the most it might be $11 or $12. That's still not that bad compared to 15. No, it is what it is. And then if you get like a yearly or something like that, you get an extra $3 to $4 taken off that. So it might be something within your interest. They'll only have to pay like $150 a year. That's not that bad. Maybe it might even be less than that. So it's not that bad. So let's go to the character creation. Of course, you know the character creation in this game. It's not Black Desert, but it's pretty hot. It's pretty good. The female characters, of course, just like everything, are worlds better than the males. The males need a little bit more customization, but the females and overall just the way that they look might be the sexiest. I know everybody likes Black Desert and stuff when it comes to females as far as the face wise and everything, but the total package is all Blade and Soul. Blade and Soul got the body right there. It looks good. It looks good in motion. Not that Black Desert doesn't, but I just kind of favor Blade and Soul a little bit more. I don't know, maybe that's me. Anyway, Cash Shop. Now, Cash Shop is, I want to give Cash Shop an 80-20. And I know you guys are going to be like, what the hell does 80-20 mean? 80-20 with the Cash Shop means basically that there is pay-to-win stuff in there. And the pay-to-win stuff is basically the packets that they actually give. You know, it's not every particular event, but there's some events that you can just spam these packages, and you can just get like so many good items in these packages, and it's just strictly all about the money at that point. Even if you have luck, or even if you have bad luck, if you have a good enough credit card and $1,000 to waste, you can get pretty strong, unfortunately. And that's the definition of pay to win right there. Now, it is gated a little bit behind luck, and it is gated a little bit about limitations and stuff like that, but that's if you're gonna like define pay to win, those packages are pay to win. It's unfortunate, it's in the game. It's not all the time in the game, but it is in the game, so I have to mention it. I gotta be real. I like the game, but those things do exist, and I gotta tell you. Number 4, auction house and selling. Now, the auction house works pretty well in this, but like I said, there's limitations. Even if you have a premium membership, you still have limitations in how much you can actually put up on the auction house, which I just think is extremely stupid. Like, that's the most terrible thing that you could ever have. You should not limit people on the stuff they sell. Even if they want to sell 21 silver piece items and just sell something else after that, let them. Like, there should be no limitation on that at all. I hate it. It just sucks, and there's nothing else that you can say about it. And it's a shame because the auction house works so well and is actually integrated so well. It has a little bit of flash, and I think it had flash, and I don't know if it still does now, but it works so well. I don't know, understand, like, is the resources that limited that you have to limit all of us? Like, I just never understood any type of auction house selling that's just gated. Like, that's stupid. But Is what it is. Graphically, Blade and Soul, I give Blade and Soul above average when it comes to graphics. There's places where it's a little rough around the edges, and you would like it to look a little bit better. The characters look great. The action looks great when it's put into the FPS motion and everything else, like you fighting with your characters and everything else with the cinemas and stuff like that. But it's not like super top notch because the game is dated at this point in time. It's pretty old. It's been around for a very long time, so we're not gonna get top notch with that unless they redo the whole engine, and that's probably not gonna happen. Combat and spells. Now, combat and spells are pretty fun in this game. In fact, the combat probably will be arguably the best part of the game in a lot of people's opinion. It is fluid, and it works pretty well in PvP. It works pretty well in PvE, and you just feel like that you are a part of the class. So you start to learn the class, and when you get good at it, it starts to be a little bit poetry in motion. So keep that in mind. Storyline, plot, and quest. Now, the storyline, I don't want to spoil it for you. It had a few moments when I was like, holy shit. And that's good. You want to have a game where it's going to tell you or make you feel like that. If you just sit there and look at the story and just keep clicking the button like, oh my god, can I get to the action now? They failed at that point. There's no reason for you to play the game. It's boring. Some of the quests are, a matter of fact, not even some. A lot of the quests are very linear and very boring. I wish the quests were a little bit done a little bit different and more scripted, because a lot of the scripted quests are actually a little bit fun, like the escort stuff and like that, or going to save somebody, or like picking up a baby out of a burning building, like all that stuff exists and is good, and the plot is good, but it's just the quest lines and the quests themselves that, like, just the normal go kill this, go kill that, kill this thing, and this thing might pop out and fight you. I hate those quests because you can kill like 20 things and the thing don't pop out. That could happen sometimes, and it has happened sometimes, and that's total BS. So we're just gonna move on to the next point. Classes. Now, the classes in this game are, I'd say they were somewhat unique. There needs to be more range, but the maker said he doesn't like range, so I'm kind of sad about that. But the classes are Blade Master, Destroyer, Summoner, Force Master, King, I'm about to say King, Kung Fu Master, Assassin, Blade Dancer, Warlock, and Soul Fighter, which I just fell in love with. Now I have to get rid of my Force Master because Soul Fighter is kind of like a combination of that and Kung Fu Master, and I like Kung Fu Master too, so I'm just like, why should I even use the Force Master now? So I feel bad, but those are the classes. Each of them are unique. Like you saw, I paused this for a second with Summoner because I hate them, and I think they're the easiest class to actually use. There's so much cheese, so much immunity and healing and damage all at the same time, and then they're a freaking pet class. Oh my god, just no comment. Let's just move on to the next topic. Alt and replay value. There is a lot, especially for people who like to be loners. And if you are a loner and you want to make a guild, you're gonna need to make a bunch of alts to make your guild kind of hot. Because if you do not, you will be sitting there for a long time with that one character trying to raise up your guild. That's just not gonna happen. So you're gonna need to make a lot of alts. And then on top of that, there's certain events where it's more lucrative for you to have multiple characters, at least to a certain level, to actually play and get these events. Like, I believe there was the one gold event that we had about 2 or 3 months ago that everybody needed to be level 38 to take part in that event, and then you got some pretty good loot for that, and you got nebula stones, which I believe actually help you level your legendary gear line a lot faster. So yeah, very good. So next up we have dungeons. Dungeons in this game, there's a lot of them. They take a little bit of skill. So if you're a guy who just likes to be casual, you get yourself done. But to actually get into 4-mans and everything else like that, you are going to have to show some skill. You're going to need to learn the iframe. You're going to need to learn to dodge, when to DPS, when to get out of stuff, how to not stand in circles, because there's plenty of circles in this game and you need to not stand in them or you will pretty much die and everybody will be looking at you on the ground, and then yeah, you probably will get kicked from the team. I'm being honest, totally honest. Trade skills in this game is kind of like a forgotten part of the game. People usually don't even be bothered. To be honest with you, I don't. And it's sad. And I shouldn't do that because you actually do make money off of that. But I'll just look at trade skills and be like, man, yeah, I don't care. I'm being dead honest, unfortunately. It just is what it is when it comes to that. PvP. PvP might be the best part of the game, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, not anybody else's. I know some people are like, what the, like, dude, combat is badass. I could just see the comment section now, because when I say my opinion, and I was like, oh, dude, you need to talk about, and even though I was playing it like 3 years before anybody else, practically. It's like, there's only like 2 or 3 of us who on YouTube, RenderMax, actually, I'm gonna say RenderMax, Lazy Peon, Stefaru, myself, and I think there's one other person. We're like the only ones who really play this stuff like years before everybody else. And then I see in their comments, I see in my comments, I see in other people's comments, like, you don't need to talk about you did. I'm sitting there like, what? Anyway, PvP is the hottest in my opinion. The arena, there's nothing like the arena that. When it comes to competitiveness with MMO, like, I think Blade & Soul has the best arena PvP around right now. It's so much fun. It takes a lot of skill. If you ever watch any of those players out there, I know you guys probably heard of J-Song and all that type of stuff. You watch those guys and they do their thing out there. It's a whole hell of a lot of fun. Unfortunately, on the other side of that is the world PvP, which is littered with bots, which is just annoying because of the bots. They do a good job at NCSoft of getting rid of the bots, but they come back with friends, and it's annoying. And I see the company trying, because I do see bots now getting just their behind kicked out, but you know, it's still a little bit annoying. It's still a little bit disheartening that the bots are coming back. And the actual PvP battleground, until they even it out like how Skyforge did, and you have to cap people. You can't have people coming in with nuclear weapon type gear up against people with like machine guns. It's not gonna work. People are just gonna not be in there, and that's what happened now. Nobody goes in to do that mode unless it comes up on the daily, and then still nobody does it. They'll go around it. They'll do the other 4 things on there, but they won't do that. That's sad. Alright, last 2, raids and in-game. In-game consists mainly right now of 4-man dungeons, which is a super hard mode. Well, not super, but hard modes. You have a few world zones, which are like just like 24 mans, where it's not real. I don't really consider that in game, but the game considers that in game, where you can run around with 24, or like with 24. It's supposed to be with 24 people and kill things, and you know, have your fun and get a little bit of loot and items and stuff like that. Get some quests, some world quests done, and it's cool for like when first. Like week or 2 when it's out, but then even then that ends up barren because it just becomes a hassle, and you might as well just go into the 4-man dungeons and grind, to be honest with you. So they have to do something about the world events. The world events are just, it's a good idea, but it needs to be more rotation, and it needs to be on par or close to on par with other things to make people actually want to go in there and do that and spend that amount of time, because right now it's not on par or not even close. And last but not least, we have the conclusion. Now, finally, should you play this game? Being that it's a free-to-play game, yes. There's nothing wrong with you going in there, downloading it, see if you like it. If you like it and you feel restricted and you want to do something about that, pay that $10 to $11 and, you know, unlock stuff and start having some fun. Like I told you guys, the PvP in this game is fun. The PvE combat-wise is fun. If you're a person who does not like grinder quest type of action, you will not like this game, because it is full of grinder quests and they will piss you off. The combat and the PvP will not hide the quest. It just won't. Storyline wise, you will always you will just be like, yeah, what? Wonder what's gonna happen next? Oh man, I want to get my revenge. Like, you know, you're gonna get those feels like that. Graphic wise, you're gonna love the females. You're just gonna love running around with a female. Like, I don't even know why I even made Scion Storm in this game, because Dawn Strike is the hottest bitch I ever seen. So I don't even know why the hell I did that. And last but not least, once you get to end game is fun. As long as you don't take it too seriously and don't stress yourself out with trying to like get super high gear scores and stuff like that, like these other guys in the game. Don't make it about that, because you just won't have fun at that point. Make it about the fun. And with that said, I have to take points off on this game. This game cannot get a full 3 because of, like I said, it has pay to win, and I gotta take points off of that pay to win. I know people are gonna be like, "What the hell? It's not that bad," but pay to win is pay to win, and you can't get by it. Like I argued pay to win and Black Desert because I don't think that's pay to win. I think that's pay to be lazy. But this right here, this is straight up pay to win aspects in the game. So I gotta give this game actually a lower score than Black Desert. I'm giving it like a 2.4 because of the pay to win that's present, and because it's, I think free to play is a little bit too restricted. I understand they have to make it so people want to do the premium, but I think it's too restricted. I think that whole you can't deposit a wardrobe stuff is dumb, because that's forcing people to delete clothing in the game, and clothing is just customization. And I always said that customization should not be, like, you shouldn't be penalized for that. So it's like, I don't like that. There's too much restrictions on free to play, so that's why I gave it a 2.4. And yes, you should play because it's a free to play game and it has very good quality. Like, you don't, there's nothing holding you back in PvP. PvP is generalized when it comes to arena and everything else. So you can just go in there. It doesn't matter who has what at that point, as long as you're a proper level to defend yourself. Like, you can go in there first thing, like level 30 or something like that, and go in PvP, but it's in your best interest to level up, and you probably will level up in PvP. So other than that, you guys be legendary. Play the game, you'll enjoy it if you can get past, you know, the things that I said, and I will see you soon. I'd like to thank everybody for 10k subs. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. And if you liked what you saw in this video, please click the top right to click more of my videos, or click the bottom right to subscribe to the channel. Once again, one love, peace, and I will see you next video.